Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thanks for stopping by and joining us here on the farm. And today we are hopefully looking a little different because we are trying out a brand new camera.
Yeah, so if you can't hear us, sorry.
Yeah, but the good news is maybe there won't be a little ringing noise that somebody or several people have said has been there for the last, I don't know, couple months, 3 months.
Yeah.
I tried a new microphone and hopefully, I know a lot of you don't ever complain or don't ever say anything, but for some of you that wear earbuds or more sensitive or whatever the deal is, we're having some problems. So we're trying a new camera out today. Off and on, we also have the old handy trusty GoPro that we like to use when bad things could happen.
So that should tell you something's coming up.
So Cassie has a complaint. I'm in the complaint department here at Walker Farm. I filled all of the complaints that come through. And what is the complaint today, Cassie? When you drive through our driveway?
There's tree limbs down there that just aren't cutting it. They need to be cut.
Well, why? But they're actually hitting something.
Well,
there's something wrong.
Before I didn't like them in my van because I just didn't like how it looked. It was ugly. But now they're hitting the bus, so now he'll take care of it because it's actually doing something other than just prohibiting what I like to see.
Well, and I was hoping that I would rent one of those tall lift things.
Yeah.
And do some things that way. But guess what? I'm just going to take care of all the low limbs I can with my tractor right now. And then maybe later on, we'll get one of the lift things and go with that. So,
Yep.
All right. Well, you going to drive again?
No.
Well, are you going to at least lift me up?
Sure.
Okay. So let's get the tractor.
With the parking brake on.
Yeah, I'll have it parked and ready. And then Cassie's going to lift me up there while I do some cutting. So, ready?
Excited.
All right. Let's go give it a try. So Cassie's going to take the four-wheeler down. So we're going to get it loaded up with the bar and chain oil. Hopefully that doesn't fall through. And I was cutting up some stuff with the chainsaw the other day, so it's handy right here. Cassie, we've got any updates on the school gym?
That's what I'm texting about right now.
That's what I was thinking. Gonna be a busy week, right?
It is.
Maybe some games this weekend?
Shooting for it.
If everything gets done, maybe the very first games this weekend.
Yep.
So we made it down to the end of the driveway. Cassie, you want to point out the problems?
Yeah, so the far limb I've wanted it to go for a while because it's just ugly.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I drive through right here, this one hits me, and then maybe a few of the other ones.
All right, so this one right here's
But that one down there hits me as well.
a problem. And that big one down there,
Yeah.
which they never were really in the road until we got a bus that takes up most of the road.
Yeah, that limb's just always been ugly.
So, All right, so where do you think you want to cut this one off at?
My choice of trees had we planted the trees.
No, the reason we have this tree here is it was already here, obviously. Yeah. And anytime you have a big tree of any size, we prefer not to cut it. But do you want to cut this entire limb all the way down?
Yes.
Okay, so for that, I'm going to have Cassie I'm going to bring the tractor right here, and I'll cut that direction. And that way when it falls, everything will fall that way, and no risk of hurting anybody.
Yep.
And then the other one, you said this one?
Yeah, see how it has that above it on it, so it already pushes it down.
Yeah.
But this one is snapping because it's going like that.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I'll be able to get quite that high, but I'll get as high up on this one as I can.
Yeah. Those are away from the fence, so whatever happens can happen now. I'm trying to get my eyeballs out of the sun.
Okay.
So this just hanging is the problem. If that fell straight down during the next storm or something, it wouldn't hurt anything.
All right. Well, one thing we're trying to test out right now is the audio. So I'm going to step back. All right, say something.
Do you want me to use my teaching voice or just talk normal?
Teaching voice is always good.
Okay, so teaching voice is like this. Children, listen. And then talking normal is like this, which I'm loud either way.
All right.
And then normal people, they kind of talk like this, and they're normal, and no one can hear them.
Well, we'll find out, because it is a little bit windy out here today, and we have Shelby. She is Cassie's dog or my dog.
Joe is just like, you all right? I staying up here.
Yeah, Joe has found a spot right by the sidewalk in the sun.
You know what?
And he is not gonna move. There's Joe. What?
Shelby and Zena just had a birthday.
They did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get them any presents?
Food and water.
Happy birthday, Shelby. You want a what?
I need a side-by-side.
All right, well, I'm gonna set my stuff off because Cassie's gonna go grab what?
Safety first.
Safety glasses. So, got everything set off?
That it?
That's it. Hey, girls. I was wanting to check out our calf Sequoia. Hey, Sequoia. Hey, it's not time to eat, and you've had feed yesterday. You should not be hungry. Hey, Salt. Come here. Come here. Come here, Salt. Oh, you're a good girl. So you can see the packages here sign that Mazzy made is getting a little bit faded. That's okay. It served its purpose. We've had several packages delivered right here in our package box. That's actually working out really well. So we're gonna get the tractor moved into place. I'm now recording with our GoPro. So
tell us, different, good, bad, same? What?
Yeah, we're used to the GoPro. We're not used to this. So this is a Sony ZV-E10 4K. I don't know what all it does, but it has this handy little
dead cat on top.
Holder.
Handle.
Yeah, so that should help with the wind a little bit, but it has this holder that has off and on button and record and photo and all the fancy stuff that we got to get used to. So we do want to do the best video we can.
Yeah.
It doesn't always turn out. Like sometimes the wind doesn't cooperate, sometimes the cameras don't cooperate, the technology, the microphones, whatever. But a lot of people, it's a busy day for a Monday.
It is.
But we do try to do the best we can for you guys, and this is part of it.
Eat the dead cat on top.
Shelby wants
Wait, is they call it a dead cat?
Huh?
Is it called a dead cat?
I don't know. It's that little. Yeah, probably because it looks like cat hair.
I think that's what it's called, but now that I think of it, it don't sound too nice.
Well, as long as it's not really a dead cat, I don't think it matters.
Let me take a picture of that camera. I want to send it to Erica.
Okay. Why?
She got something like this.
Okay. So Cassie's going to send the picture on. I'm going to set up the GoPro and get us ready to cut this tree down.
It doesn't want to come off.
Try to see which way it's going to fall. So we got the first one down. That was uneventful. So that one dropped. Really, that limb was going out too much to the just straight out. It didn't have enough up angle to it. So now we're going to move the tractor over.
You can see completely through that where that woodpecker hole is on this side.
Where at?
You can see daylight through it. When I was behind the tractor.
Oh yeah, woodpecker right there.
Yeah, you can see completely through it when you got the right angle.
All right. So Cassie did try to hold me hostage while I was up there. You wouldn't let me down, would you?
Haha.
I made you want to do what?
Throw up.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't like when you're above this, and I don't like when you're reaching for stuff.
Well,
If it was me, I'd be fine with it. I don't like you doing it.
well, there you go. Cassie didn't like it too much, but we did get the ones that were in our way, and now we've got a little bit of a mess on the ground. But the biggest...
Kids are for.
What?
I said that's what kids are for.
That's what kids are for. The kids are at school. It's you and me, sweetheart.
I gotta go to school.
So now we do have a little bit of a mess over here, limb, but easy cleanup because we can cut this up and then toss all the limbs and stuff over the fence over here. So thankful for sunshine and some nicer weather.
I have a question.
What's the question?
Well, my dad's gonna build me a bench for that locker room. He said 9 inches long and 12 inches tall. I mean 9 feet long and 12 inches tall. It needs to be, how tall?
Well, how tall's the other one?
I don't know.
I would say standard seat height, whatever your seat is at your kitchen table. Like, isn't that what a standard bench would be? So we did make it through. Nobody lost any limbs.
I was the one that needed the eye protection. It was going all over me.
Nobody lost any life. Cassie, always wear eye protection when you're going to be around a chainsaw, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that is...
Can I just do that next time?
Yeah, you can just do that as long as you're not going anywhere.
Then maybe I wouldn't want to throw up watching you.
That's eye protection. So, hey, it got done, though. We didn't have to rent any equipment, and we got it knocked out. So that's a big plus. I'll probably cut this up here in a little bit. What do you got to do today? Go on to school?
Yeah, I need to get to the gym, do some things that need done, and hear my laughing rooster?
Yeah, I did hear your laughing rooster.
And then get ready for 7th hour.
All right, so I'm going to go replace a light in Cassie's bus, that reverse light.
Yep.
Who knows what else we'll do, but Shelby, you stayed out of the way. I think Cassie saved your life. She was gonna get ran over, wasn't she?
It was gonna land on top of her. She was just laying there watching. Silly girl.
Well, always gotta look out for the dogs. They won't look out for themselves. So I started cutting up the tree, and I got a little bit done, but I went to get a pair of gloves and a bottle of water, and I have some bad news. The bus up there would not start. The one that we have to turn into our camper. So the schoolie has some kind of problem. It has 3 brand new strong batteries in it, and it did not want to start. So I've got to figure out what's going on, if it's the alternator or what. I just Googled it and found a YouTube video with a multimeter that maybe I can check it and see if I can get a reading. So after we finish up the wood right here, we're gonna go investigate the bus a little bit to see if we can figure it out. Well, it took a little bit, but I got all the limbs thrown over the fence. I got all the tree cut up. So we got another brush pile started over there. And I think I'm going to get my log splitter out in a little bit. I have some more logs up by the house that came out of the wood pile that need to be split as well. And I'll get these split up. But before I do that, I do want to check in on the bus and go try to maybe test the alternator, see if I can jump start it, and that type of thing. So one thing I love about YouTube is if you're willing to try, you're willing to learn, you're willing to research a little bit, you can usually figure out stuff like mechanical type things you know nothing about. I never have tested an alternator before, but I researched it and I found a YouTube video, and here's what it said to do. So let me set you guys up. Maybe you need to learn how to do this one day. Maybe you guys already know how to do this and you're saying, Gary, everybody knows how to do that, you're goofy. Well, let it be. If I'm goofy, so be it. Let's see, right now we have 0, and what we're going to do is take our tester and we're going to put it on 20, and I think that's DC. Doesn't really have great labels. And then we're going to do a reading right here, and that is showing, let's see, 11.79, 11.8 on our reader. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but it was 11.79 or 11.8. So what the video said to do was do the same thing when the vehicle's running, and it should be putting out around 14 volts instead of that 12 or 12 volt battery. So let's start the truck up, if it will start. Okay, so now that we're running, let's go back around and check it out. There we go, 14.9. So that means the alternator is doing what it should. So now that the truck's running, it was putting out 14.9 instead of 12. So that means the alternator is doing what it should. So I'm gonna pull the truck over there and see if I can jump start the bus, and we'll redo the same thing and see what we get on it. This is all interesting to me. Hopefully you guys aren't completely bored by this, but I've got a problem with the bus and we got to figure it out, because if we're going to use this for a camper, one of two things: either the alternator could possibly be bad, or there's somewhere that's pulling juice when the bus is not running. When everything should be off, it's pulling juice. Now the brain on it should always pull a little bit, but it shouldn't pull enough to run the batteries down like that. Especially 3 brand new commercial batteries should not do that. So if the next thing would be, if the alternator is good, is maybe put a cutoff switch on. But let's see what we got right here. 5, 11.9. Which is close to that 12 that it's supposed to be at. So it does have to like pressure up the brakes and do different stuff. That's also a drain on the battery. Everything basically drains the battery, so it needs really good batteries and it needs a really good charging system to function. Well, it tried a lot harder that time than it did before, so we'll give it a little bit to charge and see what happens. Figure it out. Stink. No bueno. So I don't know if you've ever read the book, The Tortoise and the Hare. I recommend it though, one of my all-time favorite books. And that's because every single time you read it, I don't care if it's 5 times, 10 times, or 20 times, but every single time, the tortoise wins. So I'm gonna take a different approach, a little bit slower, a little bit steadier. I got my charger connected. I'm gonna probably give it 2 or 3 hours. So I'm gonna run to town, get the light bulb for the bus, and probably get a battery maintainer. I might check on them. I need to get one for my Jeep as well because it sets almost all winter, and see if I can get this thing started later on. So the good thing about changing the light on this bus is at the end of the day, if I don't get anything else accomplished, at least I got this fixed. So that'll be a win for me. But so this bus does belong to the school, but Cassie and I have taken on the maintenance for it and taking care of it, that type of thing. Mainly because that way we know that it's taken care of, and when Cassie drives it, she knows it's always ready to go as far as being full of fuel and things like lights all working and the maintenance on it, oil change and brake fluids and that type of thing. So I think this is probably going to be the easiest fix for the day if this does it. So of course this bus fired right up. It's the best one here probably. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in reverse and make sure these lights work. Well, that's about how my day has gone so far. So let's take 2. Maybe it'll work this time. Don't fall over. All right, we're still standing up. I can at least check it. So that's good, it worked. I watched the video back and no problems at all. That bus has been a great one, which we knew it probably would be because we know the person that maintained it, and they do a really good job of taking care of their buses. Even though it's older than that other one over there, I have more faith in that one right now, just because I know the history of it and I know how it's been taken care of. So now let's hook up the log splitter and go split some logs. So from somebody that cuts wood, I can tell you, once upon a time, I was not a believer of log splitters. Didn't really think they were necessary, and I just thought that, you know, you could use a split and maul, get the job done, and you wouldn't have to spend all that money. After I've burned wood in my own home for several years, I can tell you, this is probably the single best investment that you will make as far as cutting and burning wood. Makes life so much easier. You don't dread having to do the wood, and your back will thank you later. I'll just say that. So I haven't started this thing up in a while, so let's get it fired up and split some wood. So that limb might not look like a whole lot, but it made a pretty good little pile of wood. We still have some little pieces over there. So we will get this picked up maybe later on this evening. But I think it's about time to go check on the bus and see what we can do, see if it'll start or not. So I also took some time and split the wood over on the porch. But let me tell you, the worst thing to back is that little bitty wood splitter. It does not back easy behind the pickup. Now behind the four-wheeler, it backs pretty easy because you're sitting there kind of right on top of it. But let's go see what the bus is doing now. Hopefully we can get it to start up, but there's got to be something wrong. It's either the alternator or there's a short, something that's causing it to be drained in the middle of the night. Well, it's showing about 50%. So let's see. We'll give it the old engine start and see if that does it. But the good news is if it does start, the alternator should charge the battery. We'll just let it sit here and run while it charges, if the alternator is good. We started! Yeah! All right, so what that does, it'll at least let us test our theory out here. So we're gonna unplug our battery charger, unplug our hot, unplug our negative. And let's see where we're at. So it's showing 13.1, 13.1, 13.0. All right. So that tells me that the alternator is charging at 13 amps. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to do or not, but I want to let it run for quite a while, and then I'll try to start it back up. It was kind of slow to start then, so if I let it run for say 20 minutes, that should give it plenty of time to charge the batteries back up, and then we'll try to start it then. So I've let the bus run for probably 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes. And I already done this once, so I don't think it is the alternator. I think the alternator is recharging the batteries well. Let me show you why. Because when you turn the key over, it fires up really fast. And so I think there's probably something that is pulling the battery power while the bus is dead. So that's what I think is going on. If it had a disconnect switch, that would be really handy, where you could just disconnect the battery completely. We actually had a subscriber tell me in the comments that they drive a bus and every one of their buses has a disconnect switch that completely disconnects the bus every day. So that would be really handy, but I don't know that ours has one that I know of. So we're gonna have to figure out exactly what's going on. So I have a bus mechanic friend, so I'll be reaching out to him to get some more details. But right now, I went ahead and parked it right here. That way I can run my battery charger right here, my maintainer, and I can hook it up and keep it maintained so we don't have to worry about it. But once he's able to talk to me or come out here and check it out, then we'll just let it be for now. We can still work on it. We can start pulling the seats out. I'll probably go ahead and keep it on a maintainer though, because I don't want to ruin the good batteries that are in it. And I think a maintainer would just do that. It would keep it maintained, wouldn't have to worry about it. So Cassie has to take Mazzy to violin practice tonight, so I gotta go pick the boys up. So I think that's probably all the time I have for now. I don't know if we got a whole video out of this, but now we know we have a little problem with the bus. Something is pulling volts out. Like I said, I'll get a true bus mechanic probably to coach me on this or come out here and check it out. Also, if there's a better way to test the alternator, but it's putting out 13.5 volts around that area. And so I think that's enough. I think it's doing what it's supposed to. It's charging the batteries back up. It's just after the bus dies, it's draining them out. So I hope you guys enjoyed following along today. Hopefully you learned something with me. Like I said, we're no experts here, but we try. If you guys have any prayer requests at all, don't forget to leave those down in the comments below. I'm just thankful this week, so I don't have any specific prayer requests, but I do want to say a praise for the sunshine, and we have 60-degree weather all week long. So hopefully I'll get to work on the fence some this week, and I'll also get to do more stuff outside. I won't have to build a fire. I'm thankful for all that. So hopefully you guys have some good weather too, wherever you're at. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.